Peace and love to the guys and the goddesses. I'm on the Kwame Brown side of the game because I just watched this movie and I'm driving and I want to get my thoughts while they fresh. I just saw that weak-ass Peaky Blinders movie and I'm done with movies. I know what you did last summer, cash grab off a pre-existing franchise that has a fan base that's loyal. Scream 7, hot ass garbage, has a fan base that's loyal. Peaky Blinders has a fan base that's loyal. And at this point, I'm just convinced, no matter if the studio's from Britain, America, wherever, I can't speak on wherever, but what I'm saying is a lot of these studios are only making movies because there's money involved. They know they can cash grab these sequels and these series and everything else like that. Because that Peaky Blinders shit, bro, the first 3 seasons of that show, and this is why I'm so disappointed, the first 3 seasons of that show is one of the greatest fucking series I've ever watched. That movie, the Immortal man that they just put out, is hot ass garbage. They didn't even try to make a movie. They literally rehashed the same plot Tommy has been going through for the last maybe 2 seasons. The PTSD is the overarching arc of the series. We understand that. But basically, consistently, we have to keep seeing Tommy get into this state of being down on himself and being depressed and being an addict to opium and seeing things that aren't there and all this other horseshit that's happened in 3 different timelines. The one where the Adolf Hitler, Ava Braun wannabes were in the season, which was a shit season. And I'm tired of Nazi Germany being plugged into everything. That Russell Crowe movie was good as hell, but they just keep Nazi Germany, bro, there's other historical events of people that are equally as fucked up. Tell me the Joseph Stalin story. Tell me about Red China. Tell me about anything at all that happened during that same time period. You don't have to just keep harping on the same, harping, however you say that. You don't have to keep rehashing the same fucking period piece over and over again. The whole point of a period piece is to discuss other periods, to teach history to people who haven't been there to experience it. But if you keep talking about the exact same moment over, how many times can you say Hitler and the Nazis wasn't shit? We get it. Them niggas was evil. We understand. Please, God. Fuck. We already had to go through a whole goddamn season of that horse shit. And then that's the main plot of this movie with the villain that makes no sense. So I'm trying to go in chronological order because it was so bad. I'm trying not to hate Rant. But the shit was garbage, bro. The shit was hot ass garbage. Let me do this shit in chronological order, bro. Let me try to do this shit in chronological order for each point. So Tommy's arc is not fulfilled here. Spoiler alert, duh. Tommy's arc is not fulfilled here. The nigga starts off as Himothy, meaning he's one of these mastermind type of cats, the archetype of Tony Montana or Michael Corleone, or, you know, somebody who is an underdog that becomes a king. You know, rags to riches, pauper to king type of situation. Hell, The Last Kingdom, Ragnar Lothbrok. It doesn't matter who the fuck you're talking about. The Viking series with who is that? No, that's Ragnar Lothbrok in Vikings. In The Last Kingdom, the dude's name is, what is that dude's name in The Last Kingdom? Bebin Uhtred. So in all of these different arcs, you see the concept of a pauper crossing the chessboard to become a king. It's an old trope. It'll always sell because people can see themselves excelling from where they are to where they want to be. But Hollywood has this obsession with the Macbeth plot. The king, the pauper who becomes a king, who then falls off due to greed or pride or vanity, betrayal. This Shakespearean horseshit has been told over and over and over again. And it gets to the point where it's like, bro, we've seen this motherfucking movie before. We've seen this plot before. We've seen all this shit before. Can you please give us a motherfucking story that maybe we haven't seen before? It's getting played out, yo. Like, the shit is getting... How many times can we see the king rise to glory and fall off? It happens to Tony Montana. The death of Michael Corleone. It's not a tragedy. You don't have to just dick ride Shakespeare. There's other writers. There's other shit to take inspiration from, bro. You don't have to ride that nigga Shakespeare dick. He was a regular nigga, bro. You don't have to act like he's the god of writing and authorship. And that's all they keep doing. The hero or the king who Beowulf, everything, bro. The king he finally crosses over the threshold to become what he's always strived to be, and then he destroys himself to his own vices. And Tommy Shelby, to make it all back, to center it back to one point, Tommy Shelby has been going through this arc for fucking, bro, 2 seasons and a movie. He reaches to the top of the top to lose his mind, to see ghosts, to regret his decisions. Oh my God, Grace. Oh my God, this person I killed. Oh my God, everything's my fault. Sonny Corinthos in General Hospital, same thing. Oh my God, Lily. It's like, bro, there's only so many times you can recreate the I've overcome tragedy arc. In the last season of the series, they tell him he's dying and he's looking forward to death and all these things, just to find out that the doctor was a part of a ruse, and through some ridiculous fucking circumstance he survives the disease. It's a fake thing and they're poisoning him, all types of goofy shit, and he gets his confidence back, and we keep having to see him break and get confidence back and break and get confidence back. And in real life, post-traumatic stress disorder does work like that. We get it. He's a war hero. PTSD doesn't go away overnight. It doesn't go away in a year. It takes healing and therapy and time and all types of things. And healing isn't linear. We know that. We understand that. You're not teaching us anything new. But the point of watching fucking television is not always realism. It's imagination. It's fantasy. We want to see the protagonist, I don't know, win, have a happily ever after, maybe get the girl, maybe have a fair relationship with his fucking estranged son that he never knew, who has years with him off camera that we don't get to see, so we have zero connection to Duke. And the other son, Charlie, who's completely not fucking on the screen at all. That's a whole nother part. I'm gonna rant about this for too long, bro. This is about to be a long video because I ain't even warmed up. Sometimes we want to see the hero, I don't know, be a fucking hero and do heroic shit. Because in real life, we know how fucked up life is. We know how PTSD works. Maybe it would be nice in a film to live in some sense of idealism. That doesn't make me a dumb popcorn eating, Fast and the Furious watching type of person. You know, it's to the point where we never see consistently, this is a whole nother video, we don't see the masculine archetype win in a lot of these films. Normally, if you want to be real, since this woke era of film, the masculine archetype has been either emasculated, embarrassed, or takes an L. Harrison Ford in Star Wars, Luke Skywalker, or I can say his character name, Han Solo in Star Wars, Luke in Star Wars, John Connor was done so dirty in Terminator Dark Fate, I don't even want to fucking discuss that shit. Holy fuck. Ray shit, and I Know What You Did Last Summer reboot, which was the most ass reboot I think of any old school horror reboot. I can go forever with this shit. I don't want to keep going off track like that, but I think they had their intent. James Bond in that last movie where he goddamn sacrifices himself for a daughter we don't give a shit about. It's the death of the masculine heroic archetype, you know, to bow to the altar of the divine feminine. And no, not going into metaphysics right now, that's okay. For the people who keep trying to say divine feminine has to do with anything physical, is buffoonery. Then all you have to do is study what those terms mean to understand that those are metaphysical principles that don't have anything to do with feminism in the physical realm. But that's a whole nother conversation. What they're doing with the propaganda in the psyop is too much. I don't even want to get into that. Just on a simple level, they're killing off the goddamn masculine archetype. I don't give a fuck. You'd be offended. and so that's what we get here. We get Tommy Shelby once again after coming off of triumph twice. I lost Grace, lost my mind. So whatever happened in that season where he's sitting in his room alone and Ada and all the people have to get him out to fight again and be a king again, and he finally snaps to. Consistently we just see this guy down on himself, and I assumed with this last gap of time we were gonna finally get a movie where he's intentional, confident, and a wise old king, like an Odin type of figure. And we don't get it. We get the nigga broken once again, depressed and fucked up, and I don't know what to do, and I need some random gypsy bitch. That's not a slur. That's a group of people that's in the fucking film. Woke era. Oh my god, he said gypsy. Fucking this random gypsy witch that comes out of nowhere that he's never known in his entire life, who's the twin of a bitch that we don't give a fuck about, who he had a love affair with off camera to create a son or an heir or a protege off camera that we don't have any connection to. She is the catalyst to get him back to form. And it makes no sense. It's forced and it's rushed, so you don't care about that arc at all. But before going into the rest of the plot, let's just talk about the rest of the characters that we could have enjoyed in this film. You know, the characters from the series that we liked. Oh, Arthur. Guess what they do to Arthur? They kill him off screen. And you know who he's killed by? Tommy, his brother. They have the most tight, loyal bond out of basically any brotherhood I've seen since Cap and Bucky in the Avengers series. And what do? They have his brother kill him off screen in a headlock because he was tired of Arthur's addiction and craziness. Hey, yo, you telling me a nigga that works with Winston Churchill and can figure out a way to assassinate Nazis and all this other shit, a man with the mind to create the plot necessary to fight Nazi Germany, can't somehow find a way for his brother to get into a decent rehab clinic? No, the best way to deal with my crazy brother who has a fucking addiction problem, let me choke him to goddamn death in the passenger seat. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That makes complete sense, movie. This movie is so hack. It's so hack that I can't say it's even a 3 out of 10. It's one of the worst finales. That last Kingdom 7 King shit was hot ass garbage too. But this right here, man, like Hollywood is moving in a way where I don't want to watch film anymore. You say, oh, it's not a Hollywood production. You get what I'm saying? Mainstream film is moving in a way where I don't want to. I'm just about to watch classics. I'm about to watch Boomerang and you know, fucking the first Spider-Man and shit. I'm about to watch a bunch of old shit. Like, I'm not about to keep watching this garbage. These niggas is putting me through hell watching this weak ass shit. I can't even stay on track. It's so bad. Here's another character that deserved a proper send-off that we don't get to fucking see. Ada. You know, Ada, the sister who Tommy basically is able to show his softer side through, like the viewing audience we get to see his softer side through her. Oh yeah, no, we're gonna have her die in the most hack way of all time. We're gonna have this bitch walk down the alleyway, and she's the military police, by the way. She's like the whatever the head of the military police is during war times, during espionage and everything else. She's just gonna walk with no security down rubble and hills with her fucking son, who doesn't have any fucking protective defensive skills whatsoever, no security needed. She's gonna walk through fucking bricks and rubble. You have to see the scene to understand how goddamn ridiculous this is. The most if somebody wanted to kill this bitch, the easiest play to set ever. She's walking down Dolo, and Tim Roth, who is a good actor, but in this film he's completely underutilized. He comes out. Oh, if you haven't seen the movie, I'm assuming anybody watching this has seen the movie, so I'm not explaining who these people are. Tim Roth basically is the antagonist, and he's fucking like a Nazi who's trying to. The plot of the movie basically is Duke, the son of Tommy, is setting up a deal with Tim Roth, the Nazi, to create a bank collapse in Britain so that Germany wins the war. World War II, a revisionist type of fantasy of what World War II is. Same thing as Valkyrie in the 1012 movies that they keep showing us over and over and over again because they're fucking obsessed with Nazi Germany and Adolf Hitler, and you just have to keep watching that shit every fucking film that's released. Essentially, that's the whole thing. So Tim Roth is working with Duke in order to... The villain is so completely irrelevant. He has 3 fucking scenes that I can't even remember the nigga's name. It's Tim Roth. The villain from Incredible Hulk, the dude that was in Pulp Fiction, him, that guy. He essentially is working with Duke to send fake notes, currency notes, into Britain to make a bank collapse happen. Yay! And who gives a fuck? just hack. Oh man, it's so hack. So essentially, Ada is trying to foil the plot. So Tim Roth tells Duke, yo, kill your own aunt and it'll show your loyalty to us and you can get the 70 million that we promised you, right? So he thinks about doing it. He tries to do it. He chickens out. He realizes he can't kill his own aunt. So Tim Roth has to do it himself. I'm Romani. I can't fucking kill my own aunt. We don't kill our own blood. Blah, 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 blah. All this goofy shit. And so Tim Roth has to do it himself. But he does it in the most hack way, in the most trope way ever, man. So Duke's following her. For what reason after he decides not to do it? Plot. He decides not to do it, but he's still following her. Just for her to see Tim Roth get out the car and slow motion walk up a strap. And as he's upping the strap, Duke is like, Ada, run! And in her hearing her name called, she turns around. And when she turns back around, Tim Roth blows her motherfucking brains out. You've seen this 1,000 times. It might have been Ricky! You've seen this 1,000 times. It's such a terrible film, man. Yeah, I'm being funny, but it really is that. By the time he gets to screaming and all that other horse shit, hey, dumbass, why don't you, I don't know, shut the fuck up? And instead of screaming her name, if you had just been quiet and she saw a guy approaching her with a gun, she probably could have ducked. Her son probably could have done something. Who was walking with her, by the way, like Fredo with Vito, and didn't do anything. But if you would just shut the fuck up, your aunt's still alive. Or he's on a fucking hill with I got the higher ground, Anakin. He's on a hill. Ada is on the fucking ground. He could have upped his gun that he had with him and shot Tim Roth. But of course the plot wouldn't allow for that, because Ada's death is used as a plot device to get Tommy motivated to go after Tim Roth. And that's the main reason. It's a disservice to the fan base, because Ada is actually an important character. She actually matters to the franchise. She's a part of like 68 plots all throughout the series, and her death is as bad as Rachel's in Halloween 5, where it's used as like a gut-wrench moment for the audience, like an oh no. It's used as a gut-wrench moment for the... I fucking hate smart cars. Like, bitch, I know what the fuck I'm doing. Don't tell me I can't turn. Like, who the fuck designed this horseshit? Her death is used as a plot device, as a gut-wrench to the audience, and it's not earned, because we get no moments with her. Her arc isn't finished. She has no, basically, moment with Tommy outside of one scene. It just means nothing. It's such a cheap way to write off a character. It's not as cheap as Arthur was completely killed off screen. Maybe they couldn't afford to bring the actor back, I don't know. But it's still cheap. It's just, bro, even if you can't afford to bring somebody back, recast the extra. Who gives a fuck? But don't ruin character development like that. Like, holy shit. They do nothing with her. They bring her back so that Tommy has a reason to be angry at Tim Roth, the antagonist. And they have the most hack shootout. Tim Roth has the whole of Nazi Germany behind him. He goes and have a fucking gunfight with Tommy one-on-one, which makes no sense. And they even realize how ridiculous that is in the script. And they go, Tommy goes, I thought you had a cavalry. He says, yeah, but I'm not a coward. And it's like, bro, no. You don't, the Peaky Blinders do not have enough people to go against Nazi Germany. They just don't. It's 12 niggas with 30, 40, 50, 100-man militia. They cannot fuck with an army. And the movie is selling you this notion that 12 people can keep... In the last 3 seasons of this shit was hacked. Because when it was gangsters and against gangsters, it made sense. But when they started to fuck with mad governments and like whole ass like militaries of other nations and shit like that, infiltrating like they fucking counterintelligence, like, bro, no. And in real life, I'm not saying gangs have not been used. We know the history of that. I'm not even getting into that. But the way this movie is setting it up is like Fast and the Furious, where we're going to call you, Dom Toretto, to stop a national terrorist threat. Please send your car into space. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? What are we watching here? 12 people, 100 people cannot go up against any nation's entire military. So in order for that shootout to even make sense, when Tommy and Tim Roth even meet so he can avenge Ada, where the suspension of disbelief is, Tim Roth is going to leave his whole cavalry behind and his whole backup behind in order to fucking go head up with Tommy Shelby, who has a reputation, by the way, of killing mad people and has been a great spy for Winston Churchill. Let me go up against him one-on-one. Oh, and he has a gun. He has a Tommy gun, no pun intended. Some big, huge shit with rounds. Empties everything, this nigga Tommy. He has stormtrooper aim. Didn't hit Tommy one time. Tommy has 2 pistols. The nigga had 2 pistols. And went and scares Tim Roth right off. He has to run away. He has to use horses to camouflage his escape. Bro, this movie is fucking atrocious. It's so hack. The characters are we don't give a fuck about Duke and this twin sister random person who's supposed to be Tommy's lost long love. We don't give a fuck. There's nothing. They kill off all the characters you care about or don't even bring them up. Grace isn't mentioned. Charlie, Tommy's other son, isn't mentioned. His daughter Ruby is only mentioned basically as a way to haunt Tommy's or be a fucking like reminder of Tommy's PTSD. Lizzie completely isn't in the movie, isn't mentioned at all. And who gives a fuck? I never really cared for that pairing, but at least bare minimum she could have got a sentence. Like, they don't bring up any characters that, regardless of my personal desire to see him, I don't remember the lady's name, but like the horse trainer lady, I would have preferred that pairing if you weren't going to go with Grace. But Lizzie, who Tommy told his brother not to date in the first place, maybe that isn't the fucking, you know, partner that Tommy picks because he's smart enough to understand, hey, yo, don't cuff a prostitute. Even though Lizzie was loyal, but they basically had a loveless marriage. So what the fuck was the point of that? Dude, I could go on and on and on. You know how you knew that show was going to be ass? When they brought Adrian Brody in season 4. And Adrian Brody is doing his best Vito Corleone impression. And it's the most hack fucking impression in the universe. And nobody thought to themselves, hey, I should probably edit this horse shit out. Or tell Adrian to knock off the Vito shit. Like, I think season 3 is the perfect ending. Everything works. Tommy gets what he wants. He's about to... I don't remember how it ended, but I remember thinking to myself around then, this would be a good finale for the series because of how season 4 pissed me off. And everything after that is terrible. Everything after that cornball, fake-ass Luca, whatever his name was, that Adrian Brody pretending to be Vito Corleone, that was the last decent season. After that, it got hacked. And his movie, I mean, well, it was more of the same. It was more of the same. A bunch of tropes. Is there any more tropes? Oh man. So they don't, maybe they're thinking about writing a sequel. I don't know how. But maybe they're thinking about writing a sequel. So Duke, instead of, in the end, is there anything else I want to say about this hack-ass movie? Because I don't want the video to be fucking 1,000 hours. Is there anything I want to say about this hack-ass movie that I haven't said already? The characters, the plot, the tropes. Yeah, that's about it. So at the very end, Tommy finally gets to die. Again, the Macbeth thing, the whole king who drives himself crazy because of his ambition and doesn't get this happily ever after because they just got to show whatever that even is, the death of Michael Corleone, the death of whoever the king is. It's just corny shit. Because everybody's obsessed with Shakespearean tragedy and the European Renaissance. Just hack. Just fucking hack. So we get that Tommy at the end wants to die. The aunt, you can tell I don't give a fuck. The aunt, who's the aunt of Duke, you know, the gypsy witch, she comes and tells Tommy, hey yo, you know, one of you is gonna be another, the prophecy. You know, one of you has to go. Like, more hack trope shit from every other fucking film. It's the chosen one, the Voldemort versus Harry. It's written, one cannot survive if the other lives. Just more hack horse shit. So it's either gonna be Tommy, and they just give it away. It's either gonna be Tommy and Duke. And Duke earlier says, I'm a loyal gypsy. I'm not going to spill gypsy blood. Tommy has already killed Arthur. So if you have a fucking brain while you're watching this movie, you know Tommy's gonna fucking die, and you know Duke is gonna be his fucking replacement. So the hack ass writers come up with the idea, well, we can't have Duke kill his father because that would make him an unlikable character, right? We already seen Finn's betrayal when he just disappears. His arc is completely unfinished. We've already seen Polly's son, I forgot, my man's from Animal Kingdom, which is a great series, I ain't gonna hold you, even though the last season was kind of hacked. We've seen him already betray Tommy, so this time the protege's not gonna betray Tommy. Let's give him an out. He's gonna give Tommy a mercy killing. Tommy wants to be put out of his misery. He lets Tim Roth shoot him a couple times, even though he had to drop on him. Also, also that the Duke is not the bad guy. Oh no, it was a mercy killing. I'm not ambitious. I don't want to usurp my father's throne. I'm a good guy. So they can come up with another way to milk this fucking franchise with another shitty ass movie with a bunch of tropes and horse shit that we don't give a fuck about. I hear there's rumors already they planning a sequel. Who the fuck is about to watch that? I'm not watching that shit. I'm cool. I get that I forgot my man's name. Cillian Murphy might want to end. He might want to stop doing that shit. I get it, but look, man, it was a better way to write him off than that. He doesn't have to settle in the sunset if you don't want your bad guy antagonist to your anti-hero, whatever he is. If you don't want him to have a good ending, cool. If you don't want him to win in the end, cool. But there was a better way to write him off. That shit was ass, bro. Like, that shit was ass. They used every trope they could have used. They didn't finish any arcs. There's so many loopholes. There's so much horse shit. They repeated the PTSD angle that he's been dealing with for literally every single fucking season. He never triumphs over anything. Like, it's just fucking shit writing. And I don't understand how you have budgets this big with screenwriters who can't write better than fucking fan fiction novelists. I don't even think they're trying to write good movies anymore. I think they have an agenda to make all masculine characters emasculated, broken men. That's my opinion. Call me a conspiracy theorist, but I keep seeing it, and it keeps happening, and I'm done. Like, I don't want to watch any more new shit, because it always has that tinge of propaganda, in my opinion. And if I'm wrong, cool. Let's say all that part is wrong and I'm just some crazy conspiracy theorist, great. The movie was ass. Even without all that, the movie was clap that ass. It was a terrible fucking film, and it's a disservice to something that I think in the beginning, at least the first 3 seasons, easily could have been one of the greatest series ever written, for it to just end up the most cliche horseshit you could ever witness. And that is my Peaky Blinders Immortal Man review. If I had to give it a 1 out of 10, 3, I would literally rather be doing anything else than watch that movie. There's not that many things, bro. I would rather sit on the porch and just look at clouds drift and watch that movie again. At least then I can get into my imagination and conjure up some shit that's better than that weak ass 1 hour and 50 minutes that I never get back. Peace and love to the gods and the goddesses.